see who can prevail today. And alongside me, for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Nones. When you look at their season so far, especially against their teammate, it's not gone well at all.
Absolutely, and one thing is for sure, this driver is not going to be enjoying the feeling of being this far behind his teammates. So the motivation will be there, but what they've got to do is put the challenges that they've had behind them and just trust in their ability. They're in this position for a reason. They've got a car that clearly does perform, so they've got to just dial it back a little bit, trust themselves, and get those results in.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Gap to your teammate behind, 2.0 seconds. Right, keep pushing. You're gaining on the car ahead.
Pit பண்றேன் சார் பிட்டே பண்ணாம வந்துட்டேன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
இந்த பிட்டுக்கு போயிடலாமா போவோம் பார்ப்போம் இவனை ஒரு செகண்ட்லாம் விட்டா வேலைக்காகாது நரேஷ்
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, Charles, let's try and climb up the order if we can. We're setting you a new target. Push, push. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Gap to your teammate ahead, 16.4 seconds. And Magnussen stopping now. Carlos is in for his stop now. Norris has just put in the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 10.5 seconds. Okay, gap ahead, 2.3 seconds. Yellow flag. Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Green flag. You're currently in P3. Norris just ahead. Push for the position. They're on fresh mediums. Piastri's behind. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader, 8.0 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now.